So, I'm going to suggest a $700 billion bailout plan that will actually work. And here's what it is. Instead of giving money back to companies that have already taken all of this money and done whatever they've wanted to do with it, why don't we give the money back to the people who need it? So here's what would happen. One of two scenarios. Either a person comes and knocks on your door and says, hi, this is the federal government along with your national bank, and we've come to the conclusion that we've overvalued your house in this market, and what we'd like to do is rewrite your loan for you. And we're going to rewrite that loan at 85% loan to value with a brand new appraisal that's going to be done today. Now, some people might object to that and say, well, if a person doesn't have a job and whatnot, they shouldn't be able to keep the house, and there's no value in doing that. And I don't have a problem with that. The second suggestion that I would have is that they would do it through the bankruptcy court so that you already have a governing body that actually has the ability to maintain these types of programs. So what would happen is somebody would file bankruptcy, and essentially, without getting into too much detail, the loan could be stripped and modified so that there would be an 85% loan on a property. Now, what would happen is that you would have people wanting to stay in their houses. Because what I do is practice bankruptcy, and in practicing bankruptcy, I can tell you that at this point, people just don't want to keep their houses anymore the way that they did before. And unless you figure out a way to get people to want to keep their properties, then the bank buying back the loans isn't going to have any value. And on top of that, since the banks are the reason for most of this happening, the other thing that would have to be in this bill is that interest rates on credit cards would have to be reduced for all Americans down to something reasonable. Reasonable, like 12 or 13% of an interest rate. See, we gave up on usury laws, and what we did was we destroyed the basic part of our economy that was most important, which was the middle class. Now we have a new bankruptcy code that doesn't allow people to file, people who have tremendous amounts of debt, and at the same time it allows them to rack up more debt than you could ever imagine. So these are the changes that have to happen. If you hear this and you believe what I'm saying, send it on to a lot of other people, because there are minutes left in reference to this debate, and it just doesn't seem like at this point that America is being represented in office by people that share the same common beliefs and values as the actual Americans. So why don't we all do something about that? And why don't we try a plan like this? I can't believe I haven't even heard one person make this as a suggestion. Please pass this on as far as you can. Thank you.